K2, located on the Pakistani-Chinese border and about 800 feet shorter than Everest, has the highest death-to-ascent ratio. 2008 was no different as 11 climbers died in a single tragic day. Expert climbers rate the ascent as being far more challenging. There have been 377 people who have summited the mountain, with a total of 91 deaths. Less than 400 people have tried to climb K2, while over 4,000 have tackled Everest. K2's climbing season is typically June through August. Climbing is impossible in all but the warmest temperatures due to extreme weather. Nearly 200 climbers from around the world descended on K2's base camp in 2008 to attempt the ascent. Each party planned to climb in turns, spacing out their ascents to avoid congestion. However, June and July had bad weather preventing climbers from reaching the peak. Even though each group had prepared for the peak separately and spoke their own language, they joined together for the last step. That was the plan, at least. Along with their Sherpas, a group of climbers from Pakistan, Italy, Serbia, the US, France, the Netherlands, and South Korea started the ascent in August. 25 climbers started their ascent from Camp 4 on August 1st. After spending the previous days ascending to the camp, located at about 7,800 meters, they left to complete the last leg of the ascent. A trail-breaking group, made up of 9 members of several climbing teams, was responsible for fixing ropes along the route that would allow climbers to reach the summit safely. With a late start on the mountain, and not packing enough rope to prepare the bottleneck, the dangerous situation began. As the trail-breaking group approached the bottleneck, it was discovered that they had started fastening rope far too early in the route, leaving insufficient rope for the most challenging sections of the climb. Climbers had to walk back down the mountain to gather rope to proceed forward, which brought the group of 25 to a halt underneath a serac that hovers over the bottleneck and could, at any time, collapse on climbers. The party was traversing the bottleneck at around 4 p.m. when Dren Mandic, a climber from Serbia, lost his balance and fell. He fell down the mountainside and skidded to a stop as climbers watched. Mandic stood up for a split second before falling back down. The second fatality happened shortly after, when they were attempting to transport Mandic's body. The Pakistani high-altitude porter Jahan Beg started acting erratically and appeared to be suffering from oxygen deprivation. He slipped and fell down the mountain, dying as a result. Although tragedy already hit, the teams pushed on. Around 4:30 p.m., the first group of climbers arrived at the summit. Hours passed as they rejoiced one by one, reaching the summit. At around 7:30 p.m., Italian climbers Marco Confortola and Irish climber Ger McDonnell were the final ones to leave the peak. They would return to Camp 4 in the dark due to their late start. On their way back down via the bottleneck at 8:30 p.m., a group of Norwegian climbers was stopped in their tracks when the serac fell on them, dislodging and cutting off the fixed lines that were set up. Rolf Bay of Norway lost his footing as the group was engulfed in the thick, sharp ice. Bay's teammate Lars Flat Nessa and his wife Cecilie Skog stood helplessly by as he fell to his death. While some skilled climbers managed to free solo their way down in the dark, less skilled climbers who had relied on guides to get them up the mountain were left stranded without the ropes. A group of 5 Korean climbers was among them. They were forced to wait in the death zone for help after being trapped with no ropes. Although it is dangerous to climb up K2, most fatalities occur when people descend from the peak. 1 in 4 climbers who reach the top of K2 do not make it down alive. This is because prolonged exposure to the death zone can result in climbers experiencing severe hypoxia. Victims may become extremely disoriented and confused as the body breaks down due to oxygen deprivation. This is exactly what happened to Daubereed. As Van de Gevel and Daubereed left the peak, Daubereed told Van de Gevel to lead the way because of his sluggishness. After Van de Gevel took the lead, he turned around, noticing that his companion had vanished. His fellow climber had fallen off the mountain's edge to his death. In the death zone, above the bottleneck, several Korean climbers and their Sherpas were still stranded and awaiting rescue. The leader of the Korean team gave the order for 2 more Sherpas, Serac and Paong boat, cousins, to rescue them. McDonnell and Marco Confortula spent hours trying to free the knotted Korean climbers. At the same time, they were unaware that several Sherpas were making their way back up to the bottleneck with the same objective. After some time, Marco started to descend the mountain out of worry about his own oxygen shortage. McDonnell stayed with the Koreans and, at one point, started climbing upwards. This would be the last time anyone saw McDonnell alive. Serac and Paong reached the Korean climbers and their cousin Jumic boat in the early afternoon after they had spent the previous night in the death zone. Serac stayed behind with one of the Koreans, who was too badly hurt to continue climbing. Paong and Jumic led the 2 other Koreans as they moved toward the bottleneck. Unfortunately, another sizable piece of the serac fell as they slowly descended, pelting the 4 individuals with ice and snow. Serac was horrified as he witnessed his brother and cousin fall to their deaths. The incident on K2 resulted in deaths as well as severe injury. After being rescued by helicopters, climbers Wilco van Rooyen of the Netherlands and Marco Confortula of Italy both suffered from severe frostbite and lost toes. Rooyen recounted the incident and said, "There were so many occasions when I believed I saw a climber and thought I heard voices, but I realized there couldn't be anybody there. It was a scary moment when I knew I was reaching my limits. I was thinking that nobody knows where I am and that they won't be returning." Other climbers would also recount that even though responsibilities were split, some teams did not follow through on their promises. Various groups either failed to fix ropes or bring supplies to Camp 4. The deals that were made failed, and lives were put in danger. 11 men in total died on K2 over the course of 24 hours. Many people questioned how they could have abandoned so many of their fellow climbers on the treacherous slopes of K2. With many critics getting angry that they did so, the climbers asked, "If you were faced with such a difficult task and knew you would die doing it, consider, what would you do?"